Can you see everyone there now, Jim?
Yes.
And good morning or good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Just give us another minute or so here. We'll get everybody on. 502, James. 7, 8.
Yeah, I've got more at this side. Not giving me everyone's faces for some reason. This Zoom changes every time you log into it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it loves updating in the middle of a call.
Oh.
Now.
I could only see Martin's face. Come on, don't be shy. Get in front of the camera.
That's it, Conrad. Step in there.
Doesn't work, does it? What did I tell you?
Top right corner, hit view.
No, you can't do it because he's not downloaded it. It's in the browser.
It's in the browser. Yeah. The download, it's when you download it, that's when the problems come.
All right, I think we're good to go. Most of all. Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 just coming in there, so they'll be coming in for the next 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
if people join a Zoom call 20 minutes in, I don't know.
Well, I can only see your face, Martin, but that's good enough.
So that's more than enough.
That's more than enough. Okay, where will we start? PFT email. Dan is doing the final bits to the PFT email. It will be out in the next day. We were in Dubai. Well, I was in Dubai and Dan passed by.
Sorry, James, come a little bit closer to the mic.
Is that better?
Even closer.
Better?
Don't know, you're not speaking.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a bit better, yeah. Good, man.
I'm speaking, right, okay. I'll try and get closer to it. Yes, Dan's put the final...
Start again there, please. PFT, yeah?
Yeah, Dan's putting the final touches to the PFT email. We were in... Well, I was in Dubai last week, as you know, for 4 days. It was the World Forex Expedition in Dubai, which all of the main broker partners, etc., they were all there. And the company Apex that we use for the PFT for the funded accounts, they were also there. So Dan scheduled a meeting with them as well, just to, you know, show it was a tricky one because the rules were quite grey in what you were allowed to do and what you weren't in regards to premium funded trader, but they did confirm that there will be no problem with the premium funded trader the way it's going to be done. So that was really good. And he did say we ideally want to go and speak to them in person. We knew the managing director was there. We did really want to go and speak to them just to make sure that what we were doing was above board, which is the case, or we've been advised it's the case. So with that information, he's now putting the final touches to that. We have got a start date in mind for this month, but it's quite dependent on the news figures. But we will update in Dan's email when exactly that date will be. But it'll be in the next week. So it's for the actual start date. The email will go out in the next 24 hours. Okay.
Okay.
On the widget, so getting over to Bank 2, on the widget, there is a feature on the if you have a UK IP address, there is a feature on the widget for UK open banking now. Okay, so if you go down on the scroll down box, it will give pay by bank card, pay by crypto, or pay by UK open banking. Okay, now the UK open banking, this will then pull up a QR code on your screen. You scan that, and then it opens your banking app for then you to then approve the payment. Okay, so it's we're going to try and extend it to all over the world, but it's in the UK. It's getting test piloted in the UK at the moment. So we did speak about a feature called Plaid before. It's similar to that. It's a faster payment, and there's no payment limits, and there is instant deposit as well. Okay, so that will be then getting rolled out as well.
So that's on the existing widget that's on the payment page if you're adding funds or paying for something on the actual website.
That's
live.
Not
the app.
That's not that. That is live now on the widget. Okay, so that's a widget feature. So but just basically building as much into the widget and the app as possible. So there's now free payment options on there, and it works. How it works is it connects to local banks. So if you're in the UK, it'll connect to all the banks that operate in the UK and open the apps up within the UK. Once we get that, once we see the flow and see how it works, basically what we're trying to stop is even when people are paying by card, banks blocking transactions and things like that. So that's what we're trying to stop, and we will then extend that to all over the world. So basically, if you opened it up in Spain, it would open up the Spanish local banks. You scan the QR code, you approve the payment in the app, and it's instant payment. And the good thing about that is it works as like a bank transfer, so you don't have your card limits to adhere to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that's another payment option.
That's another payment option. Yeah. The webinar last Thursday, we tried to, we were all scrambling to try and log on. Dan's flight got delayed. He was still in the air. I was out and about. I was in Dubai, traveling back. So just need to apologise for that. And time's just got away with us to run another one. So we thought we'll just go ahead and go on the Tuesday one. Onboarding for Bank 2 is going well. We're on the next cycle, waiting for a report from Nick to say how many people are through. But we're still waiting on the automation of the driver's licenses and the ID cards. Nick's come back and says it's more of a process than he thought, because there are so many ID cards and so many different variations of driver's licenses, etc. If it was for one country or one continent, it would be an easy job, but to build it for a worldwide solution, to be able to recognise these ID cards worldwide. So he did try and look for some outsourced software. But he says by the time they purchase it, implement it to their, he said, we'll have it built ourselves anyway. So we're just waiting on the update for that. As soon as it's automated, we get everybody through. I didn't realise as many people wouldn't have passports as they do, but it's quite startling how many people don't have passports and go down the manual verification route of the either government IDs or the driver's licenses.
And have you any idea the time scale of that? When, for example, we'll be, looking through the next groups and get everybody on the.
Well, the groups are only getting held up at the moment due to the fact that Nick's then saying, right, that's our support caught up and got the majority through the last batch. open up for another batch. So when you think if you're 2 or 3, the problem is as well with the manual process is if you've got 200 or 300 people per batch, they put in a license or an ID card, and if it's not done properly, it starts an email chain going back and forward between the classes. So you could have 100 email chains going back and forward, just trying to get people through that KYC. So they're pushing as hard as they can at their end to get them manually put through, but as soon as we get the automated, that will be this. We could onboard everyone when it's automated. I've got a 96% pass rate, and anybody that's left behind will be able to be done within a few days, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So
and then will that kick out the withdrawals then, or what's the situation there?
Yeah, once we get everyone through the KYC process, then we could start the withdrawal phase, and then we could start the phase over to the MT4.
Okay.
Now, in regards to the brokers and with MT4, obviously there's going to be a mass amount of deposit, so we need to drip feed into MT4 so liquidity doesn't become an issue. Now, liquidity isn't an issue if the broker knows in advance what the liquidity is going to be.
Okay.
But we can't dump everyone in from day one, because then, it needs to be done in an approach where they'll say, right, okay, we've got this amount of liquidity. We go put some more in, and then they can go and seek that liquidity from other providers. It's just exactly the same situation that Dan's in with NinjaTrader at the moment, that they have been and got that liquidity, getting that liquidity matched, so then they don't then want it to be pulled away in one fine swoop as well. So it has to be a phased approach from NinjaTrader over to MT4 to stop the liquidity issues at the NinjaTrader side and stop liquidity issues at the MT4 side. Because
just so that everybody understands, what would be the issue, for example, if we all pull the money at one time from crowdfund Ninja into MT4, what would happen there? Or if a large amount started to come out at the same time, what would happen?
Well, one, it would be a problem at the NinjaTrader end, because Dan had agreed these, a 1.1 spread at NinjaTrader. They've then, over the period of the last year, went away, found outsourced liquidity, updated their systems. They actually created their own market. It is still the NASDAQ, but they created a special market for Dan himself to be trading on that at a cost, etc., etc. So if we
pulled all that money at the one go, those spreads and those terms wouldn't be in place anymore.
Well, they certainly wouldn't be happy anyway. They've said anything that could basically don't pull the rug on us after we've supported you for so long, which is fair enough. In regards to taking money back we need Bank 2, so we're not taking money back to physical banks anyway, because taking that amount of money back to physical banks, people are then going to have the problem of, when it goes back to the bank, where's this money come from? It becomes a tax issue, and then they need to then get it back to the MT4 broker. So it needs to be done in a phased approach, so it's not one big amount into one big amount. And then, so that's the problems at Ninja side. The problem at the MT4 side is that we don't actually know exactly how much money is going to be drip fed into MT4. We don't know if people are going to hold on to some money. We don't know if people are going to put, people might put extra money in to the MT4 because they've got full control of it, in the respect of it could be used more. It could be used more like a bank account, because you could deposit and withdraw at any time. So we don't know that we know a rough figure, but that says you need to phase it into us. Somebody's speaking there, Martin. We need to phase it into MT4, and they'll be able to reconcile every night and say, okay, this is the liquidity level. We've had X amount of deposits, so for tomorrow or going forward, we need this amount of liquidity, and they'll build their liquidity pool up as well. But one thing's for sure is all these brokers are very nervous about us putting money in and pulling it out straight away, because they have to, one, the PAM structure's been expensive for them to set up. We've not got one PAM account, we've got 3 PAM accounts for the 3 different levels.
Okay.
That's been a month that I've been trying to sort that out. My hair's going extremely grey. Try to fix that out. Because we need the PAM to tie in with the back to make sure that people have paid their membership fees and all that type of thing. So as people's account grows, we need to be alerted of the account growing, etc., for it to trigger membership fees and trigger 30% fees, etc., etc. So the brokers are, you know, Dan and I both had sat and spoke with the managing director of 2 of the brokers, and then it was the managing director's assistant of the other brokers, the 3 of them that we're going to be dealing with. And that, you know, they've created, once again, special markets within the broker. Because if you go to these brokers themselves, the spread would be double of what we're getting. So we have to load that special market into Dan's MT4. So he trades on that market that's got the lower spread. So they've went to that cost. One of the brokers is in Australia, which means there's a time difference. So that's been a nightmare as well. They start messaging me at 11 a.m. Just give me 2 seconds. They start messaging me at 11 p.m. in the night when they come online, and then if there's things to be fixed, so one morning I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning, just, you know, getting things done back and forward. But the PAM situation is coming along. We're 90% there. We're going to start making the videos in the office today for people to get onboarded and get through the KYC. We'll probably do that in a phased approach. Obviously, the brokers have got all the systems ready in place, but we'll probably do it in a 2 or 3 phased type approach, just to the fact of, not for the broker support, because, you know, they've got, you know, one of the brokers says, but we've got 50 customer service agents already, you know, answering live chat, etc. But we don't, you know, we'll have to assist people at this end as well for more specific questions through our support. Our support, we have been streamlining our support ticket system as well over the last few days, putting a different system in place, which should really speed things up. So flowing it to the back office stuff, just little things like what was happening is we send a support ticket to Darren, okay? And maybe there's 5 issues on one support ticket, because when people are sending a support ticket, and they'll put everything in there. But there could be various things that Darren need to cross-reference, like I can't think off the top of my head, but email address, you know, account number, things like that could be missing from it. So then Darren's got to go and search and then go. So one issue, one support ticket that could have 4 issues on it, but there's little bits of information missing off the 4 things. Darren then sends it to Khaled. Khaled's then got to go and look and see what all the issues are, or see what the missing information is, or email the person back. So we've got now a blanket template to send to Darren with all this information on it before he gets it to stop it coming back. So as it comes in, we'll then request information if it's not on the support ticket, and then send it to Darren. So just little things like that. So
that should speed up, for example, if someone's on a ticket with, for example, they're not seeing commissions paid, or they're not seeing their back office updated, does that speed up that process?
That speeds up that process as well, because we will then seek to find information that's missing from them immediately. So then when it gets to Darren, that he has got a much simpler job. He's got it in a more template fashion with the notes from us as well.
On the team side, then, what type of information is missing, or what should people make sure that they absolutely definitely have put on a ticket before they send it in? What type of information is required?
Okay, so
Emails.
email. So now, even the thing is, the email the ticket comes through with an email on it, okay? But we still have to. It's not clearly visible. We have to then open up the ticket and go into the back of it to source the email.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm sending in a ticket, I need to put what on it? My username?
So if you put username,
Yeah.
email
address for the account that I'm talking about, is that the one? Yeah.
for
Or I'm having an issue with.
yes, because this is another issue, right? Because some people send in an email from a different email address.
Yeah.
A support ticket from a different email address that their account is from.
Yeah.
So correct points collection email, user. We're working on a template. So what we'll do is in the minutes, okay, we will put exactly the format for people to send a support ticket in. So people can then copy and paste that, and then that will come in. So if we send in the support a template with what should be, email, username, issue, and any side notes on a template, they could copy and paste that into a support ticket, because it comes in lots of different formats at the moment. So we have to then sift through that. Now, I know it's our job to sift through it, but
that takes time. Yeah, and if someone sent in a previous ticket, should they also put that on the new ticket or the new email that they've done so? And if so, what the reference of that was?
No, any current tickets at the moment are being handled in the form that they are. But any new support tickets, we will.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? If I sent in a previous ticket and now I'm sending it in the new format, surely I should say that I've done it before, so you're not going looking for it again, or you can just wipe that one off.
Yeah, well, what to do is only do this for new issues, because any outstanding issues, we've already got the system to get it over to Darren. Okay, so that should really speed things up in regards to the support ticket. Still get loads of emails to every email address, which is a pain.
Yeah, people think they're going to get bypass the system by doing that, by sending you an email directly.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I know it's frustrating at that end as well, but getting emails saying, we need more open communication. Now, I don't know if you've got any suggestions here, Martin, but I don't know what else could be done. There's two webinars updating every week. It's not a good use of time to sit in webinars and answer 200 questions, because the 200 questions will only then be said, send a support ticket in. You can't go into the Bank of Scotland and say, I want everybody in the boardroom, and I want to give I want to tell you how you should be running the bank, because most of the emails is, I think you're doing it wrong. Well, that's good for you to think that. I'm trying not to go on a damn rant, but I'm just lost with it, to be honest with you. I don't know, what's your opinion, Martin? Is there anything that could be done differently?
Well, you can't do a damn. Don't do a damn rant anyway.
I'm not doing a damn, but do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but again, it's just, I suppose, it's the frustration with someone sending a ticket to say, for example, that they're not seeing their commissions going from paid to unpaid, or from paid to their non-trading account. So just thinking, well, if I had this in trading, it at least would be making money, So those type of frustrations are there. So I suppose they're just looking for the types of that to be done, or to get some sort of a time scale as to when that's likely to take, what time that's likely to take to get that sorted or whatever. So yeah, that's where the frustrations come from, plus the payouts.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And we had a long conversation yesterday. We were in here for 13 hours yesterday, with going back and forth with Darren to try and figure out a new structure and to get that. Now, Darren is rightly so says a good use of my time isn't sitting and answering support tickets. That's actually getting on and doing the commission stuff.
Yeah.
And which is fair enough, and that's why we're trying to do the majority at this end and just say to him, right, this is a problem that needs to be fixed. The majority of problems in regards to commissions and things like that in people's back offices, the majority of them are fixed. That's for sure. Okay. We have a few outstanding tickets over the past fortnight. And some historical ones that have come back and said this was I thought this was fixed, it isn't fixed, or there's an issue with it. We're getting on with them, and then it should be, you know, all of the Bank 2 reconciliation ones, etc. They'll all fit into place. Now there's a slight delay in that because it's a manual update, but it's, you know, they will fit in and they will slot into place. And even things like there were some members who had withdrawals in the last cycle and it hadn't updated in their back office. Never got many support tickets informing us of that. But we did get the support tickets when they eventually, you know, it did recalculate last week.
Yes.
As you know, it did recalculate, and then everybody come and said, "Oh, money's been taken out of my account." I said, "Yes, well, it's from your withdrawal the last time." Oh, yes. Yeah, I just wondered. So the script is there and it is getting done. Okay. But you know, it's unhelpful when you get these emails saying, you know, I think it should be getting. You know, it's very easy from the outside to look in and say, I would do this differently. I would have probably done it differently from the start as well, but we are where we are, and we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. But yes, Dan's info at the point collection email is still getting, after every minute, 20, 30 emails. I get at least 10 a day. Conrad gets at least 10 a day. Khaled's starting to get emails, and his email's never been given out. They've just guessed what it's likely to be. So this, you know, the support ticket, it isn't as fast as we would like it to be at the moment. The problem is I could fill this office with 10 support staff and it won't make it any faster. Okay.
Yeah, because it still has to be updated at the back end of it.
It's still got to be updated at the back end.
Is there any way of getting more people on that job of the updates? I know they're dealing with the guys in India and so on.
Yes, and there is more of the Indian guys being taken on to work on this full time. Okay, but as Dan explained in the last email, it's a very difficult one to bring new people in to do the back end coding, etc. stuff with it, because we're too far down the line with it. So it's not a case of just, you know, get a new team of coders, etc. It's you know, it's a very complex, and Darren is quite rightly scared that a few bad actions could really mess things up. So he really needs to be sitting there. If he is hiring someone, he needs to be sitting there looking over their shoulder, because, well, one thing we don't want is any of the scripts being messed up, or, you know, it would only need one wrong action. Darren knows it inside out. He knows the roadmap, and he knows where everything should be and how everything works. So it would only need one or two bad actions to start messing everything up properly. So we're in a really tricky position that, yes, we are under-resourced in that area. Once we get a full merge over, we're fully merged over to the Bank 2 in regards to payments in, and that's working perfectly. Once we get a full merge over to the payments going out again, then it should be a complete automated, streamlined system. And any issues will be small issues that will be able to be picked up by support, sent to Darren, and fixed straight away.
I suppose one of the most common things as a master is, you know, when when will this be done? When will that be done? When will we be able to do this? So I suppose there's timescales that frustrates people more than anything as to regards, when will all the KYC be done? When will withdrawals start? When are we likely to see, consistent trading be done? So those types of things is just.
Yeah, and yeah.
Have you anything on that sort of timescales?
Yeah.
I know that's difficult when there's so many parties involved in it, but say, for example, when would someone likely to see consistent withdrawals sort of happening?
Well, the thing is, in regards to starting with the KYC, okay, we really have to go by Bank 2 saying our support is now got them through, go to the next one, okay? And them doing the automated thing. Now, once all that's through and that's gone, then we'll be able to initiate the withdrawal system. Okay. But in regards to the KYC, I would be very disappointed if we're not through it by the end of next week.
So we're only talking short term.
We're only talking short term, but it's very difficult to give timescales because everybody hangs on every single word, and when we've been down that route before. We've been down that route before. I just keep hitting home that what was built with Bank 2 was a system that no one else has got in the world, and we had to build. And that's what everyone's forgetting. We had to build that system, and it was a massive build with loads of different moving parts, legals, and all. We've just had a legal opinion come in there about something. I don't know what it is. It's on Conrad's screen. I'll look at it afterwards. Conrad, go and flick that laptop charger on. So. Yes, there's so many moving parts in the respect of there's so many third parties that we're reliant on, but we're moving as quick as possible. That's
that's the thing. Is just I suppose people understand that everything has been done as fast as possible. There's no reason to be trying to hold anything back. There's no reason for wanting to have delays in it. The faster it's moving, the faster all these things are fixed, the faster. The tickets stop, the faster the inquiries stop, and everything just runs nice and smoothly.
And the faster I go get to sit on a beach for a week, because believe me,
you're only back from Dubai. You're not going away again.
Listen, Dubai. Dubai.
It's a working holiday.
Yeah, that was not a holiday. I was more tired when I came home. We're wanting it to go as quick as possible as well, but we've got every time we mass open something, we just get 2,000 support tickets, and it puts us massively back. We have to do it in a controlled manner. Everything is working. The Bank 2 stuff is working. Without the Bank 2 stuff, there would have been no ecosystem. There would have been no way to take payments. There would have been, we would have had to sit. We'd have had to say, look, the door's closed. We have to manually withdraw everyone back to crypto. Even the last crypto withdrawals that we've done, it took us about 2 weeks to do them manually, and then Dan had to update them in the back office at 2. That put us a month behind. But if we were to do that to every single member, the last time people were coming back saying we don't know how to work crypto, we paid in fiat, so we need to be paid back in fiat. So it's a case of without the Bank 2 solution, there is no real solution. Yourself, when we were over in Ireland, we were on a call from a team from Dubai with a payment solution. That drew up a blank, didn't it?
Yeah, they all believe they can do it. To say, we can get that done for you, and then whenever you explain to them exactly what is required, none of them can do it.
Well, here's
it had to be built.
Here's an interesting one for you. This is my bag from. I've got all these leaflets, okay, from payment companies from this Forex expedition. Just out of interest, payment company. We could do worldwide payment providers, okay.
Yeah.
I spoke to every single one of them. We only do Asia. We only cover Brazil. We only cover the UK regulation nightmare. Don't go there. we can't do America. Every single one of them couldn't do what Bank 2 have done. For. So, and because it's funny, me and Dan says, obviously we want to build a business for longevity for years and years to come. So we say, if there's a couple of payment, we'll start the process with other payment providers as well as backups. Be completely upfront and honest with Bank 2 if anything was to happen down the line. We've got backups. We won't put anything through, but they'll be there ready and waiting. Not one of them could even come close to what we had built with Bank 2, especially with the app, because they all say they could take crypto payments, etc., crypto exchange, but it's the fiat problem. It's the fiat that's the.
It's onboarding everybody, the average person's money to get that crypto. What's the issue?
That is the issue. It's where we're onboarding with Bank 2. There's going to be no. I tell a lie. There was one lady who says, "Oh, we could do it worldwide." I says, "Okay then," and I scanned her phone. I says, "Take my WhatsApp, okay, and I'll back here tomorrow. Could we have a meeting?" She messaged me at 7 o'clock at night. I was sitting having a meal. I spoke to my managing director. We can't do that. I says, "Okay, no worries." So.
Because it sounds simple when you say it. Listen, with a lot of people around the world, they want to be able to pay money into us. We want to be able to send money back out to them. We want them to be able to send that to wherever they want to do. And they all go, well, yeah, we're doing that all the time until they actually ask to do it.
Yeah, that's it. And, you, as I say, how many doors we knocked on ourselves to get to this position. So it's been a massive undertaking, a massive build. We're in the position with Nick. We've met Nick 3 times in London now just to keep things pushing along. Meetings with him we're doing that next week as well. So we're really pushing along, but we're at the stage with Bank 2. It's difficult to say, why is it taking so long? Because of the task that they've given them. They've had to then go out and figure out how to do these things. It's not a white label off the shelf. Bank 2 were a business to business operator. When you go into Bank 2's website, there's no business to consumer advertised.
Well, I suppose that all helps everybody understand, because you're thinking, well, are we hearing excuses, or are we hearing whatever? But it genuinely is a bespoke program that's been built here, and as frustrating as it is, for the long term, it needs to be done in order to make sure that we all can move funds in and out in the future very, very smoothly and without any hassles down the line. So.
Yeah, and it's just like in regards to there's been less crowdfunded trading of recent, okay, which is frustrating. But every time I say to Dan, he says, "Well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to get this transition over?" Well, he says, "Well, we either do it now and get the transition over to MT4, or we'll never be able to transition over, because I need to be able to test the Palm accounts. I need to make sure it's working. So I can't move people's funds over to something if I'm not 100% sure it's going to replicate in the same way." So he says, yes, there's some short-term less trading, he says, but it's in the view that in a few weeks' time, the Palm accounts will be going, and, in some days an elite trader is doing 20, 30, 40%. He says they're not going to be long in catching up.
Yeah, so what we're seeing, we're missing out on something now. Whenever that's set up, the gains we'll make then will be better than we'd ever have got.
Yes, and even the conditions of he's actually finding it easier to do the MT4 trading, just the way that we've got it set up. And because it's spread over different brokers, you've got less slippage issues, you've got less liquidity issues. So we're now seeing it flowing into the different brokers. The pricing structure is certainly much better. The Ninja Trader broker is an old institutional type broker that's probably not the most up to date with their technological side. It's like an old American banking institution from the 80s, to be honest with you. But going over to MT4 is certainly a much more modern and much smoother process. So it is finding it easier. He's getting the profits easier. So, you know, although he says, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to just do crowdfunded, or do you want us to go to MT4? And how could I have an argument? I don't have an argument for that.
No, well, personally, I was thinking, you know, if it needs to take his time to do the MT4, that by the time we do move into it, then there's not other issues. So.
Yes, well, the thing is, we need to make sure there's not other issues, and if it's so much of an issue, when we launch MT4, I'll speak to him and say, you know, even people on just normal crowdfunded, give them a month or a few weeks of unlimited profits without any, you know, just to get their bank going again, if you know what I mean, and make up for it. But we need to prioritise and get over. So that you know, that's
where is he with the agri points, or what's the story there? Do you know any updates on that? Or
so the first cycle,
how's it going along? How is the trade in the food business in Malaysia?
So the first cycle ends today.
Oh.
The first cycle ends today.
That was quick.
And the second one is starting on Friday the 6th.
So everybody's going to ask the question now, if the cycle ends today, when will we see the funds showing up in our back office?
So
see them smiling, that's what they're all thinking there. I think I'm psychic.
So the Khalid,
don't email him.
He's
going to send me a message afterwards, isn't he?
Yes, once the cycle is completely
so when the cycle completes, that doesn't necessarily mean all funds are all in and everything's reconciled.
Yes, so once it's reconciled, we will then get it reconciled in the back office, and then we'll go again for Friday the 6th. It depends on the reconciliation. It might be.
And a lovely word for that again is timescale on the reconciliation, Khalid.
We're waiting on the figures.
He's waiting on the figures.
Okay.
So he's waiting. Once we get the figures, we could put them into the back offices, and then people go again if they want. But this is the first time we've done this, so we're it's a learning curve to get the figures. Dan,
is any idea did it match expectation, fall short of, or exceed? Have they any idea as it was going along?
There was a few delays on the initial few days in transportation, but it shouldn't fall short of where it was meant to be.
Okay, so it's in and around what was expected.
Yeah. It's all around. AgriPoints will always be one that will be 20% over or 20% under, just because of the the different timings and the weight of the meat and things like that as well. You could actually overstretch as well, which is good. So it shouldn't go under 20% or over 20%. That's our rough estimates at the moment.
Okay.
So we'll get with that as well, and we're just waiting for as I say, for the bank too, for the KYC onboarding. The timescale.
That's the one. If that automated government ID and driver's license would get done, that'll rush. It literally is. It's slow to get that point, but once that comes, my understanding is that's right. Is it? Whenever the KYC can be done automatically on driver's license and government IDs globally, you literally open the floodgates. It'll not be groups in. It'll just be here. Everybody. The rest of you all get KYC.
We'll do one. Right? We'll do one group. We'll do one group to make sure that it's seamless.
Okay.
And then go.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And after that. Okay.
Yeah. Because, as I say, the small minority that doesn't approve and has to go to a manual process, it won't be a lot, because there's a 96% pass rate of the automated KYC. We'll do one just to make sure that doesn't drop dramatically with all these different weird and wonderful IDs from all over the world.
So again, so that I understand that and everybody else understands it. So if it's automated, there's different layouts and different types of text and pictures and so on, and people's IDs depending on what country they're from. So it's getting a software that can read all of that automatically. Is that the issue?
Yes, it's getting the software that can read it all automatically. Yes.
Okay.
And as I say, Nick, I did speak to Nick when I was in Dubai the back end of last week, and I says, is there anything that we could do in regards? Is there software that we go and buy off the shelf that could do that? I say we would still need to play about with it anyway.
Yeah, to get it fit into their systems.
Yeah, it would still need to fit into their systems, it says, and there is software, but they're usually continent-based or country-based softwares.
Well, that makes sense. If there's no company out there doing what we need them to do globally, well, then they wouldn't need the software. So therefore, it has to be built too.
Yes, it has to be. So the thing is, we're running a worldwide business here now. Any dealings that I've ever had before in business has been in the UK, Ireland, and just because of the last company that I worked for, we've done some work in Australia as well. So I've only ever had to deal with 3 countries before, which is quite easy because UK, Ireland, and Australia, they all tend to follow the same
systems. Yeah.
They all follow the same systems. You get open banking between these countries without a nice flow. But when you start bringing in countries that are some weird and wonderful ones, and all over the world, you go into America, that's a minefield. One thing's for sure, at the Forex expedition, even brokerages, they just don't like touching America at all. Nobody likes touching America for the reason.
They just slitted themselves out of the game.
Yeah. They say it's just a regulation nightmare, and we've seen that with the unbanked situation. Unbanked went to the SEC and said, we're going to run a crypto exchange type bank. We're not going to do it under the radar. We want to be completely upfront and honest with you. This is what we're doing. They let them get a few years down the line and then pulled the rug on. We don't want your type of it, because the more money that gets taken out the traditional banking system, they just don't. The traditional banks want to kill crypto. They want to kill, these borderless payments, so they've got full control of it. And I tried to send a payment abroad the other day, and it came. You could only send £5,000 a day. I thought, what good's that? £5,000 a day. It's going to take me a bloody it's got 5 or 6 days to send what I needed to send. It was a bill. It was a bill for the company, but unbelievable. £5,000 a day. So they want to hold that control over your money, and any of the crypto type businesses that come in and put a threat to that, they just block payments from them. That's why we need BankTo, that we know we're not going to get any blockages. BankTo know what we're doing, but they've seen the trading. Nick's an investor in the trading. He'll be one of the
so he wants it done as much for himself and his family as anything, or as the client.
I don't want to get into his personal finances, but he's sitting on more money that he's sitting waiting to put in when it goes to MT4. So he's saying to us, I'm pushing it as much as I can as well. He says, I says to you 6 weeks ago, I've got this money waiting to go, and I said to him, there's no point in putting it into the crowdfunded at the moment, because we're just going to be asking you to take it out in 6 weeks again. So just sit on it, and wait, and you could be a pilot as the MT4. The MT4 is going to connect into the app as well, so you could fund your broker from the app. So you don't even need to take the funds back to your bank. You could fund the broker from the app, which is another good feature. But as I say, all these things take time to build in, and
Well, speaking of time, we've taken an hour of your time now.
Yeah, so, I know, but it's good to give
back to work.
It's good to give an overview in a level-headed approach, because I put these things down, and it just goes off on one. I said, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do this or want me to do that? I said, well, just I'll figure it out. You just keep trading and.
It's done. It's getting done. It'll be done, and it'll be done for the better, for the long term, I suppose. But I suppose in our end, it's managing our expectations and managing our frustrations and our patience and so on. But as people are coming up towards the end of the year, they're thinking towards Christmas, will we have our money out by that, and so on and so on. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
we're definitely going to be there with that anyway. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
we're not even going to go there.
We're
Like, I
not.
mean, October to see a lot of stuff wiped out and sorted. Like.
Yeah, but I think the message to it, and it's difficult to do this without sounding arrogant, okay? And I am aware of this, okay? But you have to remember that there's a few thousand members, and there has to be a stance as run as a business, okay? What I'm trying to say is there's so many opinions coming from so many different things on how it should be done and how it wants to be done. You know,
Yeah.
It's really frustrating, and it's really difficult to you know I sit at night for 6 hours. Somebody sends me an email and it puts me in a bad mood for 6 hours because I'm thinking,
If you've done a 13-hour day doing stuff and got it done, and then someone told you you've done it wrong, well,
yeah, and
if we all thought about that in our own jobs and our own lives, we wouldn't be happy with it either. So
it really kills morale in the office.
yeah.
When people are just continually telling you that you're stupid, really. Okay, we're not stupid people. We've built
No.
it. We've built the app to as a solution. If the app hadn't been built and the Bank 2 hadn't been built,
The whole thing would be closed down.
It would have. I wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be sitting there now. Everybody would have had their.
That would have closed in February or March. That'd have been it.
It'd have been gone in February, March, and then we wouldn't be moving on. So we plough ahead and keep doing what we're doing, and
we'll do so. And the vast majority of the community understand and respect that work that's been put in there. As frustrating as it can be at times, and we may appear or may think we're in the dark at times, but we do respect everything that's going on behind the scenes and all the work that you guys are doing and all the frustrations that you are putting up with. And again, if you're dealing with third parties, you're dealing with their situations, their issues and everything that are holding up what you guys are trying to do. So we do appreciate what you guys are doing. So
and
keep doing it. Updates, I suppose, the minutes updates have been a big help. People seeing, I haven't been able to get on a call, but at least I'm able to read the updates from the minutes. So again, could you get them out a bit quicker?
I know
so people are asking. Yeah.
The thing is with the minutes, and the reason there is sometimes a delay on it, okay, Khaled writes them up, okay, and then he sends Conrad for his what he wants to add to it. Okay, then Conrad sends them to me for what I want to add to it.
Okay.
Then I send it to Dan to see if he wants to add anything to it. Okay.
It'll take some day to even get around to that. Yeah.
But then once it's all done and everyone's happy with it, we then send it to Darren to send it out. Okay. So sometimes if there's a slight delay, there's been a block, there's been a delay between one of us, and then we have to read it and then we have to add to it, because it's okay since I could get Khaled to sit right here and write minutes out in half an hour and send it to Darren now, but the content would be crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, now we understand why it takes the time that it takes to do it.
Yeah, the content of it has to be relevant, correct, and has to have been through, because
multiple sources.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Khaled deals with most of the support, and Dan in the back office. Conrad deals with all the Bank 2 stuff. So everybody's got to have their piece and make sure that Khaled's information is correct, Conrad's information is correct, my information is correct, and then Dan's information is correct. When we've all said, right, everyone's information is correct, this is then good to go out and spell checked, by the way, because you'd be surprised how many little silly ones slip through the net. Then it goes to Darren to then send it out. So that's why there could be a day delay on it sometimes. So
that's all right. Yeah. Perfect.
Think of it like a magazine. Think of it like a magazine writing up an article. It can't write it up and send it out straight away. It's to go through the channels for the content to be correct, or then we're just getting content that's not good enough, or there's because everybody does hang on every single thing in there. If there's something wrong, it will get picked up on, and Khaled's support ticket system will go boom, 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 boom. So, but yeah, I'm just explaining to you the
You
reason
spelled
why.
agriculture wrong.
Yeah. Oh yes, oh god, it's just tiny little things. But I'm just explaining to you the reason why it sometimes.
Yeah, we understand. Yeah, yeah.
24
That's
hours.
good. Yeah, it's good to know that, because again, as you say, there's lots of information from multiple sources that needs to all correlate. Nothing conflicts with each other, and then it still has to go to print and get out there on the servers. So.
Yeah, it's like writing an article. And the thing is, I read the minutes. And you know, because obviously Conrad's dealing with different things that I am, Carl's dealing with different things, Dan's dealing with. I read the minutes and go, oh, that's a new one to me, because Conrad's just not had a chance to tell me yet. So it's actually good at this side that we all sit and read. It's like an overview of what's been happening over the last couple of days, just in case one of I've missed something. There's that much going on. We need to, you know. It's actually a good script for that as well. So the members are getting all the first-hand information from what's happening in the office twice a week. So I don't think we could do any better on communication there.
That's good. Well, thank you. We'll let you get on with it. And thank you, everyone, for sitting there patiently and giving us your time and attention. That's a lot of information on the call today there. So the minutes might take an extra half hour.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, so, what I'll do is I'll get Kelly to send out the first draft of the minutes, and then you message.
I'll do that.
What is that shit you've just put out? No.
Okay. So possible to see you Thursday night.
Yeah, you'll see us.
Next update.
Thursday night. I'll get Dan on the call as well.
Dan, okay. Okay, get him. Make sure he's meditated beforehand.
Yes.
Bring him on. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I says to him last Thursday. I had a dinner with a broker that we're not actually working with him, but he's a broker that I've known for 12 years, and he's very technically minded with things like PAM accounts, slippages as a spread. This is who I lean on to for my advice when it's above my head. So he's based in Dubai. When I was in Dubai, I think I've got a lot of his free time over the last few months for advice and things like that. I'll meet him for some dinner. Then I was going from dinner straight to the airport. So when Dan couldn't join on the call, I was sitting at dinner with, I can't say I need to leave. I need to leave this hotel and go and do a call. And Dan's flight was slightly delayed. So he landed late, meaning that he couldn't get to the hotel in time. It could, to be fair, Friday got away from us. It could have been better communicated, so I apologise about that. But anything, in the future, we'll put a email out straight away saying the reason why. Okay. I think Martin's frozen.
Okay.
Oh, you froze it off.
No, Phil's starting to ring you already, and I'm not even off the call. Okay, right, gotta go. You go and do your work.
Right, no worries. Okay, I'll speak to him about Barton. Good call, and I will update everyone on Thursday. We'll get the minutes out as soon as possible, okay?
All right, take care. Thanks again. All right, everyone, thank you very much. We'll talk to you all again Thursday.